The sun rose slowly, painting the shattered morning in hues of orange and gray. Smoke, like tired ghosts, still drifted from the skeletal remains of homes in the fishing village. The air was thick with the scent of salt and sorrow. Villagers, their faces etched with grief, gathered in small, quiet groups to bury their dead. I sat alone by the shore, the gentle lapping of waves a stark contrast to the storm in my soul. My gaze was fixed on my bandaged arm. Beneath the clean white cloth, I could feel it, a faint, creeping darkness. I could see the black markings spreading, like ink seeping into parchment. Every time I use that fusion, every time I call upon the shadows, they spread further. Am I really saving lives, or am I just slowly, inevitably, becoming a monster myself? A soft crunch of sand pulled me from my thoughts. Shiori stood behind me, a wooden jug of water in her hands. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were as sharp as ever. "Don't touch the water," she said, her voice cutting through the morning quiet. "Pure water burns those tainted by the abyss. If you can't even dip your hand in, you should understand just how dangerous you are." A bitter smile touched my lips. "I don't need a reminder," I muttered, the words tasting like ash. Shiori held my gaze for a long moment, a flicker of something like concern in her eyes, before she turned and walked away, leaving me alone with the ocean and my doubts. Later, as I walked through the village, a different scene played out. Daigo, ever the showman, was surrounded by a crowd of cheering children. He was showing off his dragon claws, flexing them with a wide grin as the villagers showered him with gratitude, offering him food and praise. He was their hero, me. As I passed, the cheers died down, replaced by hushed, fearful whispers. "He killed the demon." "But those black wings," one villager murmured. Another added, "A cursed one. What if he turns into a demon next?" I clenched my fists, my knuckles turning white. "They're not wrong." Shiori, standing nearby, saw the look on my face, the way my shoulders tensed, but she remained silent, a silent observer to my quiet torment. That night, we made camp on the outskirts of the village, the fire crackling, casting dancing shadows against the trees. The warmth did little to soothe the chill in my bones. Suddenly, a sharp thwip cut through the air, and an arrow buried itself in the ground just inches from my foot. Then another, and another, ringing our campfire. We scrambled to our feet as figures emerged from the darkness of the woods. They were clad in black armor, their faces hidden behind impassive masks, each bearing the insignia of two crossed swords. The Hunter Guild, their captain stepped forward, his voice as cold and hard as steel. "Kaien Ryuma, Abyss Fruit User, you carry the curse of the sea. By order of the Hunter Guild, you are under judgment." Daigo didn't hesitate. He stepped in front of me, his dragon claws extending with a sharp crackle. "Ha, you bastards again? If you want to fight, you'll get one." But Shiori was quicker. She moved between us, her hands raised in a placating gesture. "Wait, he's not like the other cursed users. He's fighting for humans, not against them." The captain was unmoved. He raised his blade, its polished surface reflecting the firelight. "All who consume the abyss fruits end as demons. We will not risk another tragedy." The air grew heavy, thick with tension. I stood, my hand trembling as I drew my own sword. The captain's masked face turned to me. "If you truly claim you're human," he challenged, "prove it. Defeat me without shadows." A grim smile formed on my lips. "Fine, I don't need the curse to cut you down." The duel began. His movements were a blur of precision, each strike calculated, almost mechanical. I struggled, relying solely on my ember breathing. My sword blazed with fire, but my strikes lacked the overwhelming, chaotic power of the shadow fusion. He was too fast, too skilled. With a swift, brutal movement, he knocked me off my feet. The cold tip of his sword pressed against my throat. "Pathetic," he sneered. "Without the curse, you're nothing." I gritted my teeth, the metallic taste of blood filling my mouth. His words echoed the fears in my own heart. But then, Shiori's warning from the morning came back to me. "Asterisk, you should understand, how dangerous you are. Asterisk, I had to be more than the curse. I steadied my breath, channeling my focus, letting the fire within me burn away the doubt. My eyes blazed, ember breathing, second form scorching fang strike. With a roar, I exploded upward, my blade a rising arc of pure flame. It crashed against his sword, knocking it aside. My own blade stopped, a hair's breadth from his neck. The forest went silent, save for the crackling fire and my own ragged breaths. The captain froze. Panting, I forced the words out. I don't need shadows to be human. He sheathed his blade, a silent acknowledgement. But before he could speak, a new presence tore through the forest's quiet. A grotesque horror emerged from the trees, a monster stitched together from countless writhing human arms. Its voice was a distorted, horrifying chorus of whispers. The cursed boy, delicious. I'll tear your soul apart and wear your body as my own, the stitched demon charged. I reacted instantly, my flames lashing out, but they were too slow, too weak against this new nightmare. Instinct, pure and primal, took over. Black feathers erupted from my back, not wings, but a spiraling storm of razor-sharp shadows that sliced the demon's many arms to ribbons. Horror washed over me as I felt the power surge, uncontrolled. No, not again. I trembled, the shadows spreading wildly across my body, the markings on my arm glowing with a malevolent, dark light. My body shook as if something inside was tearing its way out. Kyan, stop before it consumes you, Shiori yelled, her voice filled with panic. The hunter captain watched, his posture grim. So it begins. I lost control. I was engulfed in a maelstrom of black fire and shadow feathers. My silhouette twisted, resembling a monstrous, burning phoenix. The stitched demon was shredded in an instant, but I didn't stop. The storm of feathers kept tearing at the air, the ground, anything in its path, long after the demon was nothing but dust. Kyan, that's enough, Dago shouted, grabbing me, his strength barely holding me back. You're not a demon, snap out of it. For a fleeting moment, my face twisted in agony, half human, half monster. Then Shiori stepped forward, her body wreathed in a spiral of pure water that cut through the storm of feathers. Her voice, though breaking, rang with desperate resolve. Kyan, if you give in now, you'll never come back. Fight for your humanity. Flashes of memory exploded behind my eyes. My family laughing, the village burning, my vow to protect the innocent. With a final, agonized scream, the shadows shattered. The power collapsed inward, and so did I, falling to the ground unconscious. The last thing I saw was the black markings crawling further up my arm, claiming more of me. Later, I lay unconscious by the fire. Dago and Shiori sat nearby, their faces etched with exhaustion and worrying. Dago's usual bravado was gone, replaced by a grim seriousness. He can't keep this up. One more fight like that, and he's gone for good. Shiori looked at me, her voice soft but filled with unbreakable determination. Then we'll just have to keep him human, even if it kills us. Far away, on a distant, shadowed cliff, Lord Abyss gazed down at the battlefield. A cruel, amused smirk played on his lips. The black-feathered boy dances on the very edge of humanity. Soon, very soon, he will belong to the Abyss.